Yo, what's good? This is Corey, your friendly neighborhood massage technician. And today we are going to go over one of the body parts associated with the sign of Cancer, which is our high summer solstice, our cardinal sign that runs into the summertime. The sign that I am associated with, July 1st is my birthday, the Cancer sign, Conquer, the crab-like sign with the two claws that are going across like so. Not 69, as some might think it is. And for for Cancer, we are going to go over one of the body parts that is associated with Cancer, that being the diaphragm. There are several others that may be associated. I believe that the stomach is, sometimes the chest is associated with Cancer, but one of them that I do enjoy and think about is the diaphragm and its ability to help us breathe. Right. So this is going to be a rather quick video. I must give a little disclaimer. Last month I was supposed to do Gemini. Was going to work on some hands and stuff like that. However, I came down with something, not sure exactly what it is. Supposedly it wasn't COVID, but it definitely put me down and took me out of my little time frame of doing my videos and things of that nature. So I skipped over Gemini. Maybe one of these days I'll come back and do another video for Gemini and get y'all some hand work before we jump into Leo season and start working on the spine, where we actually start using our foam roller and doing some self-massage techniques. For today, because we're working on the diaphragm, there are no massage techniques for the diaphragm per se, mostly exercises that you can use to strengthen your diaphragm and other exercises you can consider to help strengthen the lungs in general, and your cardiac or your cardio. There you go. That's what I was looking for. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into this. We'll start with the nomenclatures of the diaphragm. The diaphragm itself is what I like to consider an umbrella type of muscle. It surrounds if you're looking for your ribs, so that inner part of your ribs right here, it is the muscle that is more or less surrounding the inner parts of your rib cage. And the diaphragm, as far as its motion and purpose, is to help you breathe. In essence, as you are, say, breathing in, it's creating this negative pressure. As you take a deep breath in, the diaphragm is dropping down, which is helping your lungs expand into, bring the oxygen into the body. And also in the same, once you breathe out, it is pushing the air up and helping the lungs release the air out of the lungs. So it plays a part as the external musculature to the lungs. Although the lungs do have musculature in of themselves, it is greatly assisted by the negative and positive pressures of the diaphragm as we're breathing. So it is a very important muscle to strengthen and to consider as you are going through your daily life or activities of daily living. So with that, and of course you can definitely hear a difference when somebody is speaking from their diaphragm as opposed to their lungs, not lungs, but within their throat. Like someone speaking from the throat, someone speaking from the diaphragm is a totally different resonance, if you will. It's more pronounced because you're speaking from a different level of space in the body. So either way, it is definitely good to strengthen your diaphragm and to know how to use your diaphragm when either speaking or breathing in general. So with that, some exercises that we can tap into for our lungs. One of them, I would like to give you an introduction to one of my favorite breathing devices, which is this thing here, and also give you a technique that you can use without device. That being Ujjayi breathing. So one of the breathing techniques in pranayama. I'm not necessarily going to go over all of the pranayama techniques because I'm not a yogi, and it's best for you to gain that experience in pranayama from someone who has a breadth of experience with pranayama. But one of those techniques I readily use myself is Ujjayi breath. It's some people would call it ocean breath. It's kind of like having an ocean in your mouth, which is kind of weird, but it's a good analogy when you hear the sound of it inside of, I guess, like from the inner ear, if you will. So the technique is you're going to open your mouth, or you can think about doing this breath as you would say a yawn. It's a very good way to get your musculature around this particular technique. So using a yawn, how your throat is contracted and like open, if you will, you're going to use that same throat opening with your mouth closed, right? And from there, you're just taking very deep breaths in and deep breaths out. So it's with a yawn. I'm gonna breathe in. Breathe out. All this going through your nose as the only place of entrance and exit. You say you can go for about 4 to 5 minutes on each inhale and exhale. So say breathe in. My exhale is extended than my inhale is. But that is generally what an Ujjayi breath is. You can do this breathing technique for about 2 to 3 minutes, like when you wake up, if you could make it a part of your meditation practice or whatever, what have you. It's very useful, again, to get your body up, get your body oxygenated, because there's a difference between deep breathing and diaphragmatic breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing, if you will, is helping to bring more oxygen into the body. Deep breathing is helping to relax the body. Slightly different. I'm sure that diaphragmatic breathing can help you relax, but there's more musculature involved. It's like saying you can relax by doing bicep curls. I mean, like you're working your diaphragm. So there's energy that's being expended. So you're not necessarily relaxed as you do it, but it can, again, help you get some more oxygen in the body, help your mind be a little more clear before you jump into your meditation and roll into deep breathing, right? So the other technique I wanted to show you was this guy. It's technically called a breathing trainer device. You look it up on Amazon. It's quite known as a simple breathing device. There's little 3 parts. This is the inner breather. It goes in here. You have this ball that kind of sits in the center and goes on top, this little holder thing. And really the only thing here is strengthening the exhale. There is no inhale because the ball is kind of sitting inside of there. You can't breathe it in, but you can blow out, right? And it's just that you're breathing out and you're turning this wheel, that's not wheel, turning the ball that's on the inside, and it's creating this vibration within the lungs, right? So maybe you're able to hear that. That little vibration that's being caused by the ball bearing, if you will, is helping to vibrate the lungs. So if there's any mucus that's lodged inside of the lung area and stuff like that, it's helping to shake that out which could again help you get like some mucus and some coughing and all that other stuff out of your lungs, and help you be a little more clear in your nasal passages and your lung cavities and all sorts of things. But really the reason why I have this device is simply to help strengthen my exhales and my lung capacity. I use this the same way that I would do an Ujjayi breath. It's pretty much doing an Ujjayi breath with weights. And that's just kind of the way that it's constructed. Aside from the fact that there's no inhale, I'm doing the inhale through my nose, but breathing out through here and like getting that extra push that I need to work through my lung capacity and to get my diaphragm involved to assist with the breath work that I'm using through this device. So those are two things that you can do to help strengthen your diaphragm to ultimately expand your lungs and to bring more oxygen into the body, because your energy, your animation, if you will, is through the breath. God breathe, God breathe, deity breathe into you, which animated your body. It is the breath which makes you energized. It is the breath which makes you move. It is the breath which brings the mechanics of everything within the body. Everything that is within you requires breath. You would not be here if it wasn't for the fact that you were breathing this morning, right? It is important that we don't look at breathing as simply something that is automated within us. It is something that we need to practice, to strengthen, so that we become better breathers, right? It's not as simple as just allowing your body to do what it does. It does need your assistance. So again, using these techniques are very helpful in your activities of daily living. If you can breathe better, you can think better. If you can breathe better, you can move better. If you can breathe better, you can do better. I am 100% certain of that. So I guess the other things I wanted to bring up is just the simple cardio exercises that you can include with your breathing practice. Of course, there's running if your knees can tolerate it. If your knees can't tolerate it, there's always walking or brisk walking. You can get into swimming, rowing at the gym, if you will, or rowing in some lake or whatever, what have you, is your preference. Anything that involves increasing your lung capacity, if you will, increasing it as far as its speed and veracity, if you will, is going to assist you in strengthening your diaphragm and strengthening your lungs. These are things that are very important for that part of the body. So again, don't exclude cardio. Cardio is a very important part of just simply getting your body in gear, getting the blood moving, getting the oxygen flowing through all parts of the body so that you can be a healthy, happy person, right? So with that, for Conquer, we were talking about the diaphragm that is the umbrella underneath the ribs, which is helping the lungs bring air in and out of the body. We went over some techniques with Ujjayi breath, the ocean breath, which again uses the opens the back of the throat with your mouth closed, bringing the air in through the nose and out through the nose. We have devices. You can look this up on Amazon. It is a breathing training device. There are many more that are close to this or like this that you can find. Whatever's your preference is your preference. And also getting into our cardio, getting our body moving, brisk walking, running, rowing, swimming, anything that gets our body in this relative motion where you more or less get to that second wind, if you will. If there's a second wind involved where you're breathing and you have to re-catch your breath, so to speak, to catch up to the amount of oxygen that you need to supply every orifice, if you will, of your body, then then you're running into a cardio like exercise. Running into a cardio like exercise. How about that? Anyway, so that does it for the video today. We were talking about the diaphragm. I'm glad that y'all can sit in and share this time with me. I will be back next month in Leo, where we'll be talking about this spine, and we will more than likely be working with the foam roller so that we can roll out the spine and get some of those muscles relaxed on that very important line that runs down from the head to the tail. Correct? Yes. So with that, I thank you for listening, and as always, fam, be well.